Okay, thanks for clicking through. It's really important that you did this, and I'm so happy that you took the initiative to actually take action and click the button because it's quite a serious topic. Now, it's something that I don't take lightly because I've been an optometrist now for, 14 plus years. I've had my own business for now 12 years, and it's something that I've seen year on year, more and more people coming in to my practice with this condition. And it's so prevalent in the actual communities now, especially locally here, that we have a dedicated clinic and service for it in Omagh Hospital. And we send so many people to that clinic to get treated. And the treatment for the condition, depending on what type of the condition you have, can be actual injections into your eyes. They would inject the substance directly into your eyeball to prevent the development of the condition. Now, the problem with this condition, it can't be reversed. That's why this is essential that you are aware of it. And from a younger age than people had been aware of it in the past. With research, with the ability to detect these conditions sooner, it highlights the importance of regular eye tests. And it's something that, yes, coming to get your eyes tested can be more of a routine thing, but more and more we do pick up these things, even from just routine tests where people have absolutely no symptoms. And I've personally done that over and over again in the past, which has then developed a referral that has effectively detected this condition and other conditions also. So it's something that you need to be aware of. Now, this condition is called macular degeneration. So it's basically mostly age-related. So it's usually called age-related macular degeneration, shortened to AMD. But it's something that I'm seeing in younger age groups. So that's why I'm saying if you're in your 40s, if you're 40 and above, especially if you know of a parent or a grandparent who has had or has currently macular degeneration, then it's really important that you start monitoring yourself now. Now, this monitoring yourself maybe sounds a little bit intimidating. It really isn't. The free resource that I have attached here that you're going to get is a very basic, straightforward resource, but it is a very effective resource. And it's something that people overcomplicate certain things in many aspects of life. But simply using this grid, using this page that you print out, that you maybe have a look at once a month, check each eye individually, and just check that if you notice any changes in the pattern on the grid, if there's any distortions, if there's any wavy lines, there's detailed description on the page, on the PDF, on how to use the actual grid. Then if you notice any distortions at all, simply book an appointment with your optometrist. Hopefully that's with me, but likewise, the optician that you, or the optometrist or optometry practice that you attend, just book an appointment straight away. When you ring up, just mention to your receptionist or the person that you're booking the appointment that you need an eye test because you're using this, what's called an Amsler grid, and you've noticed wobbly lines or wavy lines or distortions or whatever it may be. Because once they hear that, if they're trained correctly, which pretty much most of the receptionists in all optical practices are, they're very effective at screening and identifying people with real needs and issues. You will get a really quick appointment booked with your optician. So I would really encourage you to do that. So print this off, have a little look at it, effectively once a month. And even if you don't have family relatives with the condition, it does no harm to check this every few months because it is the most effective way of detecting it. Because sometimes I would have people coming here who have had serious issues at the back of their eyes, on one of the eyes, and they really don't notice it until they come into the room, and then I cover one eye and all of a sudden they're like, oh, everything's distorted, everything's blurred. And unfortunately, in many instances in that case, there's not much can be done to the actual eye to help the vision improve again. There can be things done that would prevent it developing further. However, sometimes they're successful, sometimes they're not. So the key thing is early detection of macular degeneration. Now, I've got a resource below as well, which explains more about it. Basically, there are two different types. There's a dry type and a wet type. The wet type's a lot more serious. It happens more suddenly because there's usually a little leakage at the back of the eye, which causes a bleed. And if that happens, that will cause masses of distortion and will really affect your eyesight. But that's the one that really needs to be treated straight away, basically within 24 hours of it happening. And that's the heartbreaking part of my job sometimes, is seeing people coming in who have had this bleed at the back related to this condition, and they've waited maybe 2 weeks, and over that period of time it's caused basic scarring to develop at the back of the eye. The central vision's just completely gone. They can't see a thing centrally, they can't read. And I had a woman in a couple of weeks ago who's now in her 80s, but it was heartbreaking to hear her story, and she was quite emotional because over a 10-year period, it started with sort of reduced central vision, which basically ended up within a year she had to stop driving because her vision wasn't good enough to meet the driving standards. So she had to give up her driving. That reduced her independence. Then starting around the house, doing her cooking, her normal day-to-day activities, reading newspapers, things like that started to reduce. And then the thing that really got me was when she was talking about her great-grandchildren and her grandchildren, and just her kids, people on the street. She couldn't recognize their faces. And she mentioned about holding her great-grandchild, and she was trying to put the dodo or the dummy into the child's mouth, and she couldn't, she wasn't able to actually identify where it was because that central area, which is the important area of your vision, was basically not functioning because of this condition. And as I say, it's something that we need to be more aware of that. And that's my job as an optometrist, to get people more aware of these conditions. And I hope by doing this that people will take advantage of these free resources and actually print them off, use them. If they notice any changes, book an appointment, get regular eye tests. It's not hard to do. An eye test takes roughly half an hour. So half an hour every year or every 2 years, depending on your age bracket and the situation with your eyesight. For us to have a look into your eyes, at every test we check for these conditions anyway. So the best way to do it is through us. But if you can self-monitor these things at home for earlier detection, the earlier these things are detected, the more effectively they can be treated. And that's our primary aim basically with this. So I hope you find this useful. If you have any questions, again, contact us via the number below if you want to book an appointment. If you want me personally to have a thorough assessment of your eyes, as I say, we'll check for macular degeneration. We check for all different eye conditions with thorough ocular assessment of your eyes. So if you have any questions at all or want to book an appointment, feel free to give us a ring, and I look forward to seeing you sometime soon. So thanks for watching.